Hello, great people. The Minister of FCT, Wike, during his recent media chat, made some shocking revelations about Nigeria's First Lady, Remi Tinubu. In a moment, I'll leave you to watch the video of the shocking revelations that Wike made about the personality of Remi Tinubu and her influence in governance. Then, when we come back from watching the video, I will be telling you how that video is shocking, how it is interesting, and how it is disturbing. Three things: how it is shocking, how it is interesting, and how it is disturbing. Then we will make a comparative analysis of the person discussing that video, which is Remi Tinubu, and the person that gave the testimony in that video, which is Wike. Then we will now be comparing the leadership in Rivers State under Wike and his post-governance leadership in Rivers State. We'll be comparing it to that at the national level. We'll be doing this and a whole lot more on this episode with your sure plug, Dr. Omoshola. First, let us go and watch the video of Wike. Then we'll come back for some great discussion. Let's watch it.
I have seen first ladies at local government level. I have seen first ladies at state level. I have seen first ladies at national level. I can tell you of the truth. This is the first lady of a different kind. Right. You know, the Minister of FCT, you will be thinking that the first lady will be putting pressure on me. But you know what baffles me? I was going to inspection, all sex to Wasa. My phone rang. It was the ADC to the first lady. He said, hold on for the first lady. I said, yes, sir. You know what she said? I don't think whether they are brought it to attention. If you are going to the villa, all the roads there are bad. Now that the president is not in town, do you understand me? They try and see what he can do. Talking about the success of government. Talking about their own success. He didn't call me, I hear you are sharing land. He didn't call me, all this contract that you are awarding. I quickly called Julius Berger, who were working at the International Conference Center. They demobilized there, went straight, took them about 5 days, night day and night, and put those roads under good condition. Then another, what humbled me, I was in China. Of course, the time difference, 7 hours. Unknown, they didn't know I traveled to China. But the ADC told me that the ADC of the first lady called, that the first lady wanted to speak to me. So we got back to the ADC. Do you know what it is? First lady said, we should thank you. We should thank you. We should thank you for the road. Humility. Calling me, thanking me for doing those roads. Secondly, I was doing a special one day. She called. Honorable Minister, I don't know whether you are aware. You know, the city gate. Is there nothing you can do on time to design so that anybody entering will know that you're entering the city? Somebody who has the interest of government at heart. She didn't say, look, you know I'm broke. No, look, listen, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Look at the idea. Is that what we can do to change that city gate? I immediately called Julius Berger to go and decide. She called me, what are you doing with the IDP camps? You know, you have to be careful. How are you doing with the orphanage homes? We want to work with your head of women's secretariat to see how we can support the orphanage. During the fasting period, either the Ramadan or Christmas period, she will call. I will bring that. Don't forget the chiefs, emirs, and their wives. So last December, Christmas carol, she said, I don't know, will it be available? I want you to read part of the lessons. In that sense, look, I don't know how your programs or your activities are. She was to host African heads of state women. She called me. I'm going to host African heads of state. Will you be available to make a welcome speech? That's not a day. Where I have this, my friend is looking for contract. I have this, my friend, they're looking for land. Interest, success of the government. Okay. Humility. And sometimes you will not understand it. I was marveled. These are the kind of things that the role people play to make the government to succeed. People who are focused that my concern with this government succeed for the benefit of the people, not what I, as the first lady, would get.
All right,
humility.
We have to leave it.
There you have it. You just watched the video of the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike's testimony about the personality of Remi Tinubu and her influence in governance. Before we go into the SID, which is why this video is shocking, interesting, and disturbing, and a comparative analysis of the personality of Nyesom Wike and Remi Tinubu based on Nyesom Wike's testimony himself, let me tell you something that I observed. I observed that this particular revelation about the person of Remi Tinubu that can help her personality, the media did not kind of like give emphasis to it, and that is surprising, bearing it in mind that recently the first lady suffered an embarrassment in Delta State. You remember the "Now Your Mama Be This" issue, and also recently in Rivers State, the Rivers women walked out of our empowerment program in protest against the emergency rule in Rivers State. So one would have thought that this kind of video that now speaks well and good about her, that the media would have also given it publicity itself, but the media has not given it enough publicity. Let's say little or no publicity, but I am bringing it forward to you, and that points out to something, which is that on Politics with Omosholadeji, I don't like anybody, I don't hate anybody. When the Delta State issue, when it came at the Now Your Mama Be This, I dissect it. When the River State issue also came to limelight, I analyzed it, and now this one that even the media is not talking about, I am bringing it forward to you. So that shows that I have nothing against anybody whatsoever, and so for some of you that you can't wait to hear what people will have to say about other people when something good occurs. Shame on you, because some of you, when issues happen, you take it very personal. Politics to you is very emotional, it's personal, but politics to me, as a PhD in political science, is an art and a science. It is not an emotional thing for me. Now let us go into why I said this video is shocking, interesting, and disturbing. It is shocking because naturally one wouldn't have expected that Remi Tinubu would have that kind of personality, that she can express that kind of humility, because Nyesom Wike points to something which is respect, freedom to operate, lack of overwhelming influence, and spirit of appreciation. These are some strong features that naturally, if you don't move close to Remi Tinubu, you won't think that she has those kind of like interesting features. You won't know that she's kind of like that kind of interesting personality. So this comes as a shock when I heard Nyesom Wike's testimony. Now, how is it interesting? It is interesting because if Madam, which is Remi Tinubu, have this kind of influence, if Remi Tinubu have this kind of personality, if she is this good, the question is, why is Nigeria this bad? And that's where it gets interesting. If Remi Tinubu is this good, if he has this kind of good personality, then why is Nigeria this bad? Because you are the one that usually sleep with the president, perhaps maybe they share the same bed every night, and if you are with the president, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and you are this good, but Nigeria is this bad, then something must be wrong with you. And that points to the fact that it's either the president is the kind of president that doesn't listen, that is the type that he doesn't listen to advice, or definitely you are the one that is not kind of like advising him rightly. Because if you have this kind of good personality and Nigeria is this bad, that calls into question the level of how good you are. Because if you are such a good personality, we should be seeing the effect naturally in the action of your husband and everything that comes with it. So for me, that makes it interesting. Now it is disturbing because the person that made this testimony, the person that reviewed this testimony about the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, it is disturbing that Nyesom Wike seem to have learnt nothing from what he is saying about Oluremi Tinubu. Nyesom Wike seems to be the opposite of what he is saying about Oluremi Tinubu. So the big question is that did you not learn anything from Oluremi Tinubu, in the sense that, again, I point out something, which is that in Nyesom Wike's testimony, he points out to something about his relationship with Oluremi Tinubu, which is that Remi Tinubu has respect. Remi Tinubu has given him freedom to operate. That's number two. Number three, Remi Tinubu is not using overwhelming influence on him. That's three. Now, the fourth one is Remi Tinubu seem to have a spirit of appreciation. Now, looking at this, the big question is, if this is the way you are relating with Siminalayi Fubara, will you have problem with Fubara? No, you won't have problem if you are treating Fubara respectfully. The way Oluremi Tinubu is treating you with respect, will you have problem with Fubara? Let us be sincere with ourselves. The answer is no. If you give Fubara the freedom to operate, the way Oluremi Tinubu has given you freedom to operate, to be your own man, if the way she has not been lording over you, if that is the way you were relating with Siminalayi Fubara, there wouldn't have been issue. So you are enjoying freedom. The question is, are you giving another person freedom? Now, the people that put you in power are giving you the freedom to operate. The big question is that those that you put in power, are you giving them the freedom and free hand to operate as well? Now, the third one is overwhelming influence. Remi Tinubu did not use an overwhelming influence on you. The big question is, when you give people opportunities or when you install people into position, do you bring your overwhelming influence on them? These are some of the things that Nyesom Wike needs to learn from Oluremi Tinubu. Now, the third one is appreciation. Do you have that spirit of appreciation with Siminalayi Fubara? Because I've watched on TV before where you are referring to Siminalayi Fubara as that boy. Imagine you are referring to a governor of a state as that boy, that boy. Just imagine that. If Remi Tinubu is referring to you as that boy, would you be able to say something good about her? So the big lesson in all of this is that whatever you gain, learn to give it out. And whatever you are benefiting from, don't deny others. That is the big lesson in all of this, because that Remi Tinubu did not contract you for contract, for land sharing, and for appointment. Is that the way you are treating others? So I think Nyesom Wike should look into the mirror and kind of like pick some lessons from the testimony that he himself gave about Oluremi Tinubu. It's been an interesting time with you. Subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past video. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.